This is what we call the ego death part
Mhm.
um, that you are talking about. Is holding on to that ego. So being in an like what um, Tejas is describing, that is how it feels like, that you know what is right, what is wrong. That observation mode has taught you that, but you still holding on to it, and the only way to hold on to it is just close your eyes now. So वो भी करके देख लो, वो भी उसने करके देख लिया है. So um, in past conversations, I mentioned to many of you that many a times just awareness itself can create a very big shift, क्योंकि जब तक हम आंख बंद करके वो चीज करते रहते हैं हमको तकलीफ नहीं होती, क्योंकि then we are doing it in ignorance. But the moment we observe it and we see that what we are doing, anything wrong we are doing, तो इवन हम आंख बंद करके भी करेंगे ना तो भी हमको वो तकलीफ तो देगी. We will not be able to do it. तो कर कर you don't have to try and drop it. You don't have to try and drop it. It will drop by itself, because बहुत दिन तक वो हो नहीं पाएगा. That is the power of observation. वो इतना pile up हो जाता है कि it collapses because of that. Your observation will collapse it when you will know that what you are doing is wrong. You already know the consequences of it. You already know that this is not the right thing that I'm doing and all that. So wo observation will start to pinch you. So even if you try to do it, it will not work for a very long time. It will collapse, and that is when the ego death happens. So वो करके ही जाता. So don't try to change it. It will change by itself. So you are observing this. As I was telling him that even when he is closing his eyes and doing it, he was saying that I am not in the observer mode. And then I am saying, then who is observing? If you are not, then how can you tell that you were not observing? Able to say that I was not observing is also an observation. So then that will pile up so much on you that ultimately you will, one day you will just stop doing it as well.
Yeah, got that. Thank you.
So that's what we call self-awareness. That's what emotional intelligence is all about.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this will slowly increase. The only thing that you need to see, यहाँ पे एक चीज है, यहाँ पे one thing which people can get stuck in is still asking the question. So here, instead of asking the question, accept that I'm doing it knowingly. I'm making this choice. I am closing my eyes. I know what I need to do, but I am closing my eyes. So there is no question to be asked here as such. There is no further solution. There is no further kind of seeking here. It is, you've already got the answer. But what I'm saying is कि I am not applying that answer and I am choosing not to apply. Then there is no further question.
Yeah.
So very simple example is that you have a problem until you knew what was the issue. You went to the doctor. Until you were living with that problem, you were living with that problem. Then the doctor told you this is the issue. Now he gave you the medicine. He told you ye karna hai, aise karna. Then you go home. The tablet is on the table. You are closing your eyes and not taking the tablet. The problem is not going to go away just because you know about it. The problem is only going to go away when you take the treatment. But if the treatment is on sitting on the table and you're closing the eyes and then you're still asking question, that is where you need to stop asking the question. That is where you need to accept कि आंसर मुझे मिल गया है, I only don't have the courage to take the medicine and do it. Then don't. Then let the medicine sit on the table. वो बीमारी बढ़ते बढ़ते अपने आप ही इतनी बड़ी हो जाएगी कि अल्टीमेटली डू और डाई सिचुएशन. सी, in one day you just have to take it. But there is no further analysis, there is no further seeking, there is no further questions, there is no further answers.